Hi, my name is Kuvshinova. I'm a Russian film critic, and about a year ago, I have co-founded a website which is supposed to be just a regular website on current cinema. But writing about current cinema from a feminist perspective in nowadays Russia turned out to be a form of activism. Like many others in Russia and in other post-Soviet countries, these days I have been following the events in the neighboring Republic of Belarus. In Belarus, people are fighting the police in an attempt to overthrow the dictatorship that has suppressed this country for 26 years. The picture is too eloquent. The symbol of this protest are the three brave women who took place of the arrested men in the electoral race, and other women of Belarus who now are on the streets of their cities holding hands and singing in a peaceful protest. They are not afraid of police brutality. Yes, these protests in Belarus have a woman face, and the perils with gender-based violence are all too obvious. And this is not an upspring in a small unknown country. From my perspective, the contours of a new post-Soviet space are being created in Belarus today, which will affect the whole world. Perhaps the 40 years of wandering in the desert after the end of Cold War and the collapse of the Soviet Union are finally over. A new generation of active, educated, amazing people has grown in my own country, in Russia. Many of them are women. They are not ready to accept what seems inevitable to my generation. I'm 42, and to people who are older. They self-organize, network, educate, write poetry, help others, and support heroic people, mostly women, of the older generations who were fighting with gender norms for decades. Uh, it looks like Russia is developing its own wave of feminism right now because most of them are feminists. At the same time, the state, like in Belarus, is absolutely deaf to gender issues and, moreover, being to persecute people who attempt to undermine the gender norms. Today, awful transphobic laws are being prepared for adoption, which will not allow transgender people to change their documents. There was no such norm even during the Soviet Union. In the forest city of Komsomolsk-na-Amur, the artist Yulia Tsvetkova is on trial for drawing allegorical images of vaginas for her educational web community. She is accused of distributing pornography and faces 6 years in prison. For several years, three sisters are in trial in Moscow for murdering their father, who beat and raped them for many years, and they have no chance of help. Female students who report harassment by professors are harassed on social media for the second time. There are no ethic rules in the universities and workplaces. There is no gender education in Russia. There is no chance that the Istanbul Convention will be adopted in the near future. There are no laws protecting women from femicide and home violence, and it's believed at the state level that domestic violence does not exist in our country at all. A man who beat his wife can get away with a fine of less than €100. Despite pressure from below, the government refused to deal with this problem. All this got much worse after 2014, after the annexation of Crimea and the war with Ukraine, when Russia fell into international isolation and cut ties with the whole world. Russian cinema, like most of Russian society, is very far from gender issues. Feminism is considered to be shameful in this community. We normally laugh at the concept of gender equality in the World Festival movement and film production. The film industry is very dependent on the state with its anti-gender policy. The two highest grossing Russian films in recent years have had a group of men as the main characters, and women have acted as very minor characters. An aging Moscowist autocracy, like in Belarus, spreads its worldview to all spheres. But it's also much hope. Today we don't know where all these processes will lead, but perhaps a lot of the results depend on us. Please read about Belarus, support Belarus, contact your governments to support this country and its brave people at the international level. Thank you.